Yep. Because a board of inquiry has been established under Brigadier General Gumayo to investigate the circumstances of yesterday's unfortunate incident. And allow me express my condolences to the family of Honorable Colonel Charles Engola Machodogo Okello. Okello has been a pillar in this country. He fought in Sudan against LRA, he fought in Congo, fought LRA when they entered Lao, he took command. Okello was my classmate at Officers Basic Course. He was a major, was second lieutenant, but I had been appointed a staff platoon sergeant, so I used to command him. Quite an amiable and good to work with officer. This country is going to miss his hard work, his valor, his vigor. My condolences to the family, to the head of state, to UPDF and the entire country. We have lost a man worth mention. Now, back to the incident. There are speculations have been going around social media, what? First of all, the claim of the soldier talking is a wild allegation from bystanders, because even in the video, you hear gunshots, you don't hear him talk. So that was not correct. It's mere speculation. And I want to use this to address the question of welfare, which is being brought up by some members of parliament even, who know the truth. I heard a member of parliament talking about soldiers live bad conditions. They raised the salaries of the seniors and they forgot them. And that one is absolute rubbish. Because as parliamentarians, they know. Soldiers of, first of all, in the financial year 2018-2019, salaries of privates to captain were raised. And that's how the soldier came to minimum of 400,000. Now, along the way, you find somewhere even in the region of 485,000, and he's a private soldier. Because in addition to the salary, if you have a trade, there is an allowance you are paid. Trade means some skill, whether communication, whether handy. So the payment increment was done in 2018-2019 financial year. Now, last year when the High Command wanted to raise the soldiers' pay again, we wanted to do it wholesale. We were advised by finance, there is a level of food to manage. So that's when it was resolved now to divide. And we said, okay, let's raise those who were not raised previously. That's how the raise was from major to general. So it's not correct that they are left behind. Even then, the plan is to raise all the public servants, including soldiers, again. If finances allow, this financial year or next financial year. I mean the coming financial year or the other one. I'm not in finance, so I don't have the details. But the decision was taken by High Command and Army Council. They will be raised at the earliest opportunity, which may be this next financial year or 2024-25. Thirdly, we feed our soldiers. We feed our soldiers in operation areas. We feed our soldiers even at headquarters. Mine have just received food here. It's what I'm talking about with welfare. Now, particularly on yesterday's incident on Sabiti, the question of welfare cannot arise. One, we were paid on 28th of April, of our April salary, all of us, because it is one pay. Secondly, we have now gathered on the eve of Labor Day. Honorable Charles Engola gave each soldier 40,000 shillings as their 2 days allowance. So, where did these fellows get the speculation of pay? That's, and I would like to use this opportunity to appeal when it gets to matters of security, let us not speculate. We, the sources of the informers, are available, and we have never been unwilling to share information. So, back to your question. There is a history.
But before the question, still, let's first conclude on the issue of allowance.
Yes.
Okay, let's assume a soldier.
Where he has been deployed. You see, the principle, we pay you salary. But also there's an exception to that. If you have been seconded, say, to National Enterprise Corporation, to Parliament, or to ministry, seconded, then we even stop paying you the salary. Where you have been seconded, they pay you all your emoluments. Now, when it comes to escorts, we still pay them salary, one. Now, on allowances, it is the discretion of the agency where you have been deployed or attached to pay your allowance. Now, for individuals, like I've told you, Gen.Felix, when I was in the parliament, I was paying my driver 500,000. Others were paying them 300. So it depends also on the individual that you are working with. So it's individuals who pay them the allowance.
And how should the relationship between that individual
and the son? Father and the son. Because this person is out there for your life. But most importantly, he is a human being. Thirdly, he is your soldier. And as your soldier, you need to cater for his welfare. But in this case, we just have confirmed the issue of welfare does not arise. Well, I've heard of cases elsewhere. People leave the soldiers outside and they enter restaurants to eat, which I find very unfortunate. I have never done it, and I cannot. In fact, even when the institution has not facilitated me, if I travel out of town, I must buy lunch for my soldiers. Not paying for him, I give him money to pay for himself. So that he has a choice of what to eat. But there are fellows who have animalistic tendencies, and I condemn it. So, but you see, the behavior of an individual is not necessarily about food. There are many other things. So this board of inquiry, in my view, will help us to establish who was Sabiti. Why did this have to happen? How was his life at home? Are you aware there are very many men who are very traumatized at home? That will affect their performance at work. All that we shall establish.
So back on the question of psychosocial.
So, I wanted to give a background to this question. The different stages of the growth of the UPDF, the categories of people who are joining are motivated by different reasons. Now, we have found the latest wave, say starting from 2010 onwards, they are job seekers. Rightfully so. They are entitled to look for jobs. Now, some, however, when they get challenges that come with soldiering, the mind may not contain the stress. And so we had to establish the Directorate of Psychosocial Support under that Dr. Ochen. Dr. Ochen is a psychiatrist by specialization, and we have given him counselors, psychologists to assist in that business. And they are doing a wonderful job. However, for us to be able to give you that service, you must have manifested, okay, tendencies of mental challenge. or mental problems. If somebody hasn't manifested, it also becomes a challenge on leadership to follow keenly and be able to identify those who are facing challenges. And I trust at different levels this is being emphasized. Thirdly, we had a tradition as NRA UPDF of Baraza. We make sure every unit has general meetings. Besides the administrative meetings, you have a meeting with your soldiers weekly as a commander. Now, on a daily basis, there's what they call the parade statement. When the corporal, who is the section commander, has received the figures, then he asks Shida, any problem? He will record it, take it to the platoon sergeant, all the way to the commander of the unit. That was intended to attend to individual problems, individual challenges. And you know, they arise, and we solve them. However, times have changed. You young people, your ability to deal with challenges is not equal to ours. And we as leaders, I think, need to educate ourselves on that fact. Yeah.
Okay, and then is it something that you have to request for? Which body is in charge of that? And how is it?
We have a unit at the Land Forces Headquarters. It's called the Guard Unit, where they select the soldiers to go and they guard VIPs. No, guard places or guard senior commanders. But for VIPs, we have a sub-unit in the military police, purposely for protecting VIPs. That's a special one. And so when it comes to ministers, that's where they go. VIP protection, sub-unit. Now when it comes to, I had forgotten this one. People were speculating about the discipline of Sabit. He had just come from a junior resource course in Jinja. He was in my class, I taught them. So when you say he had a perpetual discipline issue, where have you gotten it from? Why don't we allow the investigators to do their work, and then we shall get the truth of this matter?
Because there are also speculations on that.
Yes.
That I think he had earlier been on the chain.
Well, I don't want to discuss that one because, like I said, even we, the protectees, have our own issues. So, for example, there are people who go to bars and sit there up to 1, and the escort is outside. I mean, you don't expect this individual not to react after some time. Or others who go sit in restaurants, serve meals, and you come and you go. This poor fellow since morning, maybe even he left without a cup of tea, has had nothing. So, me, I cannot rush to judge a soldier unless I've established the circumstances. Yeah.
Then finally, Kulayigye, the issue of mentorship.
Mm.
Do you have, before someone is deployed, is there some mentorship programs that you give to these soldiers?
If it's a specialized deployment, yes, we do it. But these individual deployments, there's what we call the commander's brief. The commander briefs you whom you are going to, what you are going to do, how you are supposed to do it. And in the event of any questions, where you can revert back to. That definitely is given.
Okay.
Mm.